This video is going to walk you through conducting repeated measures ANOVA analysis in SPSS. The very first thing you need to do is identify in the Canvas course shell the example repeated measures problem and the example repeated measures ANOVA data set, and open it up. So I suggest you have the example question or problem available and have your data set open. The other thing you might find helpful is there are step-by-step instructions that have been created for you in the virtual CNRS, which also walk you through step-by-step conducting repeated measures ANOVA in SPSS. And it might be helpful for those of you who like a cookbook step-by-step to have those printed off or open available on another screen. So once you've identified that you have the data set open and there are 12 subjects and there's one line of data per subject, you know this data file is ready to have you conduct repeated measures ANOVA. And you're going to go to Analyze, General Linear Model, slide over and select Repeated Measures. So on the toolbar at the top, identify Analyze, in the drop-down menu, General Linear Model, and then Repeated Measures. Click on that, and it will open up this drop-down box for you where you'll define the variables, the factors. So the first thing you want to define is your within subjects factor and give it a name. In this case, it's the trials. So we're going to put trial, and we're going to say there are 4. And you're going to add that. Then you're going to define those factors, and you're going to identify which repeated measures we're going to include in those 4 levels of the factor. So you're going to click on trial 1 and add it, trial 2 and add it, trial 3 and add it, trial 4 and add it, and then you're going to define the between subject factors, and that's anxiety, and tension. And then you're going to go to options. And the options button allows you to add the additional tests you would like to have done. So the important option to click on here are the homogeneity tests. So you're going to click on that and then hit continue. Now it's going to take you back to this repeated measures drop down, and the other thing that you might want is a graph showing the change in scores on the dependent variable for each individual over time. And so click on the plots, and you're going to enter using that same highlight and move over the trial to the horizontal axis and tension as a separate line so that you can see the change in those 2 variables over time. You're going to add that, and you're going to add trial separately. So you'll have plots for trial and trial by anxiety. And then you hit continue and then hit OK. And that will provide for you an output of what the individual results are for this particular analysis of these repeated measures. These outcomes are actually posted for you in the Canvas course shell as well, so you can compare what you have with what you should have if you followed all these steps correctly. The findings indicate there's significant differences in the p-values for the time or the trial on the dependent variable. And there's also significant differences in the trial by anxiety. You'll notice that the other trial by tension was not significant, and therefore you don't need to really look at the trial by anxiety by tension. You'll also notice here's your test of sphericity. Here's your test of within subjects effects, and you'll see that only the trial comes out with a significance here. And then your tests of within subject contrasts are next, and you'll see your trial is significant and your trial and anxiety is significant. And finally, you want to look at your plots, and you'll see both your trial findings and your trial and anxiety findings listed for you. So this is the step-by-step how to conduct repeated measures ANOVA using SPSS. The problem, example problem, the example data set, and the findings from the example are all posted in your Canvas shell. Have fun playing with it before you do the assignment that you will turn in for a grade.